welcome back to Star Wars Total Rewatch. We've gotten a good episode for you today. Bombad
That's right,
episode.
folks. Jar Jar's back. We are watching episode 8 from season 1 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. The Bombad Jedi.
I feel like I have to go really loud to do a good Jar Jar voice, so I don't want to do that in my apartment.
Yeah, he needs some good vocal range to properly voice him. And I didn't see who they got to voice him.
It apparently was Ahmed Best in this one, and then it is
cool.
not him the next few times Jar Jar shows up, and then he comes back and does the rest of them.
So this episode has us following Padme, Jar Jar, and C-3PO on a diplomatic mission. Which
To Alderaan.
Not quite to Alderaan. To Rhodia, actually.
Yeah, Rhodia.
Yep, Greedo species.
They have an ancient legend of the time Greedo shot first. Very famous.
McClunky. But alas, Padme's trip is thwarted because it's actually a trap that the Separatists have set up, and she's captured by battle droids. Shenanigans ensue with Jar Jar and C-3PO, and Jar Jar gets mistaken for a Jedi. A whole bunch of shenanigans. Now, my my Gungan's a little rusty. Does anybody know what Bombad actually means?
Good.
Bomb good.
Right. More like bomb good.
It means like super cool and great
Groovy.
and yeah.
Mondo.
It's a positive adjective because they make him a Bombad general and Dissa in Bombad, he says.
Yeah.
I forget what that was referring to. Something cool.
Okay.
Is that's as good as my Gungan gets? Is that are you saying that's another language? It's a dialect, I think.
I'm trying to think, what were the other Super Mario Star World?
Oh, that's what you're going with.
Oh.
They had some good words for cool.
Mondo. You said that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get a little bit of backstory actually here with, I guess, Padme's diplomatic relations. So she's going to Rhodia, which apparently is behind enemy lines.
Gnarly, tubular, way cool.
Are you looking for definitions of Bombad?
Bombad.
You found that before I could.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the levels in Mario. It was called Bombad, actually.
This Bombad is the even more secret level
Yeah.
that you can't get to. Yeah.
In the Gungan version of the game. That was one of the levels.
Wow.
All right, Cody.
What?
Go on.
No, we don't
on.
need to actually go into the actual
Padme.
full episode. Padme. We learn about her diplomatic past, oh, shoot. I forgot his name. The Rhodian ambassador's name is?
Uncle Ono.
Uncle. Oh, no. That's right.
Onaconda Far.
Ah,
He was a senator.
yes.
He was in the movies briefly.
The movies.
My
I mean, they show, like, all the...
What?
What? He's a male Rhodian politician. He shows up in other episodes, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is. Very, very big supporter of Padme and her political shenanigans.
Yeah, he was in the Clone Wars movie, too. Recurring character.
Oh, yeah. But we kind of see, Rhodia is kind of not doing so hot. They're behind enemy lines, behind Separatist lines. They're starving. They don't have much food. All their food shipments keep getting destroyed by pirates, apparently, because the Republic cannot keep order because they're too busy fighting the Separatists to deal with the local gangs, like the Fromm gangs and stuff like that.
Probably.
He was in episode 1, actually, The Phantom Menace. It says first appearance as a retcon. So he was unnamed originally.
Sure.
But they show a Rhodian senator, so.
He must have been a pretty good senator to keep being the senator for so long.
But he has no choice but to turn Padme over to the droids because, these people need food and the Separatists said
Pulls
they'd
a
offer it.
Lando.
So it is, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it is up to Jar Jar Binks himself to save the day, which he does somehow.
I don't know. I think C-3PO might have saved the day more.
I don't know. Everyone thought Jar Jar was a Jedi.
That is true. But in the very beginning, we see that it's still the classic Jar Jar that we love.
Oh,
He's-
man, yeah.
The very, very beginning of the episode, it's like Padme and 3PO talking to each other, and then Jar Jar, you see him just like peeking around 3PO, kind of like, I don't know what he's
Yeah.
like hiding from the camera or
I mean,
something.
I appreciated they firmly have decided that Jar Jar is complete joke character. So you might as well go
Yeah.
all out with him.
Yeah, his first scene, he's already making a mess of everything because that's exactly what we want to see Jar Jar doing. That's what you expect.
Give the people what they want. Is this what we want?
No, I mean, he's just...
It's true to character. They didn't try to like change him up from Backlash or anything like that. But no, it's just one of those more fun. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who think this is the worst episode possible because it has Jar Jar.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, they would have been. They kind of knew people didn't like Jar Jar, but then like to even carry him over into this show, it's like, he is a character, and hey, look, we can make him funny in a kids show. It works.
Yeah.
This is the most we've seen of him since episode 1. They cut his part down so much for the other films.
Yeah.
I've said it before, but I think he just works a lot better in a cartoon than in a live-action sort of serious... I should say the movie is like, parts of it are supposed to be taken very seriously.
Sure.
And it's hard to do that when he's in this. But here he's in a cartoon, and I think they save him for more comedy episodes. And I don't know. I'm okay with it. Maybe I'm a Jar Jar apologist, but but like I enjoyed it. And like right at the beginning, he's trying to rescue 3PO, and he's got this big magnet thing. He crushes their ship with it, and then he's like almost kills 3PO, and he's just swinging stuff all over like a maniac. I was laughing.
Well, later, like Padme's like, okay, we'll go back to the ship and send a message, and then 3PO is like, oh, the ship is destroyed, and she's like, by the droids? Oh no, by Jar Jar. Yeah, by Jar Jar. They just know.
Yeah.
Not surprised at all.
No.
It's so ridiculous. And he keeps calling 3PO Threeso? Like, he doesn't even know his name. And 3PO corrects him once and then just ignores it. Like, okay, I know you're not going to listen.
Why did they bring him along?
I don't know why. I just find it so hilarious. It's just so cartoonish.
Because they know how silly it is. And so they're just like, all right, let's crank that up.
Oh, Jar Jar's face when he accidentally crushes the ship, I think is just so funny.
Zoom in and his mouth is just open. No sound comes out.
The silent scream.
Just freeze frame it on that. It's great.
We'll make that the thumbnail for the episode.
Yeah, let's do it. We should definitely do that, yeah.
We've done that once before. For a very special occasion. It was the holiday special.
That Lumpy face.
Lumpy.
That's right, I forgot.
Yeah.
Poor Lumpy. I see the crab droid shows up, so that's fun. A little reference there. You see it in episode 3, I think, is when it first shows up.
Yeah, the clone jumps on it and
Blam, blam,
blasters it to the ground, yeah.
And Utapau.
Rhodia is a really cool planet.
Yeah. It's a swamp kind of place, but they have like these domed force fields around their city.
So Jar Jar manages to find which is totally Anakin's robe.
Someone left a Jedi robe.
C-3PO is like,
Padme's
I
ship.
have no idea who that might
Strange.
be.
But yeah,
Suspicious.
he puts it on just as a disguise, I guess. And clearly no one else wears robes but Jedi. There's not really any other indication that he's a Jedi. I don't even know how the rumor starts to spread.
Well, I think they're expecting somebody to come and try to rescue her. And so they see this shadowy figure in the corner, and they're like, well, that must be him. It's just a classic case of mistaken identity. And they're just convinced he's a Jedi for the entire episode. Like, despite all evidence to the contrary.
Yeah, I don't know. So sinister.
They never quite get a good look at him, though, right? He's always just kind of sneaking around.
They get a pretty good look at him.
Or just swimming around.
Even the Rhodian thinks he's a Jedi at the end. They have no idea who he is.
It's like one of those, I don't know, Pink Panther movies or something, where the hero is clueless and bumbling his way through to a victory, solving the case, saving everybody somehow.
Defying all logic.
Beating the odds somehow. They think he died several times.
That was kind of a running joke.
Padme said it one
Just
time.
teasing us, you know.
Or what does C-3PO says, like, oh, again? Or something like that. When
Dead
she's
again?
like, he's dead.
He never dies.
Nah.
He's never gone.
Someone else who shows up in this episode, Newt Gunray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess this was all a plot by Newt Gunray to capture Padme. I don't know if he was actually gonna give the people their supplies that he promised.
Didn't seem like it.
Didn't really seem like it, no.
Yeah, you think
Separatist lies.
Never trust the bad guys.
you feel like they would realize eventually that hey, nobody ever gets what they want. They deal with these separatists. Just get betrayed or just.
You'd think.
But Padme escapes her cell because she's just so BA. Just manages to
Without
escape.
any help from Jar Jar.
Roundhouse kicking some droids.
I just love the one droid that's just like, wait, where's the emergency button again?
She's pretty epic, though, jumping off of walls and blasting battle droids.
Where'd she learn all these moves?
In political school.
Right.
Political school.
It's that one course, Aggressive Negotiations 101.
Oh, I see.
Jar Jar's a pretty good climber. He climbs up to the tower, but by the time he gets there, she's already escaped on her own, so...
Yeah, I mean, Jar Jar really doesn't do anything. The only thing he does is he befriends a big
Yeah.
goober fish, which actually ends up saving them in the end.
He keeps the enemies on their toes, you know? Throws them off balance a little bit.
Right. Just the threat of a Jedi just throws them into chaos. I see.
At the end, though, he gets a lot of credit for saving the day from Palpatine. Somehow he just immediately knows what's been happening and says, "Oh, and I hear Mr. Binks had a lot to do with this. Good job."
He doesn't deserve any of the praise.
He brought that fish in to eat some droids.
That's what I'm saying. That's all he did.
It's a contribution. I didn't think the escape or the rescue through very well as I was watching, because we keep seeing what Jar Jar is doing, so I'm just assuming it's important to the escape, but it's not really. Padme kind of just does it all on her own.
If they didn't take Jar Jar, they would have just escaped on her ship and just no problem.
Yeah, 3PO radioed the troops to come.
Instead, the ship is destroyed, then they have to rescue Jar Jar. In the end, yes, he gets a fish to save them, but that's only his fault in the first place. They were in that situation.
But if they hadn't needed more troops to arrive to save them, they wouldn't have captured Newt Gunray, right?
Right.
And we see how well that worked out in the next episode, but we'll get there.
Spoilers.
Newt Gunray is thinks that the Rodian is still on his side, right? The Rodian pulls a gun on Padme. Gunray's like, "Oh, good. We still got you, Senator." But no, Padme just explains, actually, it was like a double bluff. Wink, wink to a Rodian friend, even though it wasn't. But
she's like, "I'll give you a second chance."
Cover, yeah, just so that they can still be friends. And I think he does genuinely regret handing her over.
And his people end up being okay because the Chancellor, what a nice guy, sends them some supply ships. Isn't he just the best?
I know.
They were saying it was supposed to be a vote, but it got held up in the Senate, and the vote got blocked and rescheduled for voting for later. But the Chancellor is just like, let me just pull some strings and bada bing, bada boom. Get you those supplies, because that's me, the cool Chancellor. But yeah, they end up with a captured Newt Gunray. Make him answer for his war crimes.
Newt Gunray season.
There's one thing I noticed is that C-3PO did his classic droids maneuver. If you guys remember how every single episode of the Droids TV show, the 80s cartoon show, for those who haven't seen it,
yeah,
you should probably go watch it.
What?
He would always pretend to be a droid that belonged there and be like, the bad guys are over there. You should go get them. Just about every other episode.
Oh, yeah.
He would do that.
I'm just a protocol droid.
Which makes sense, because people usually don't pay attention to the droids. They're just doing their job. He thought it was pretty clever, he said in this one. He's pretty proud of himself. So no wonder he keeps doing it constantly in the future. In the 80s.
Into the 80s.
The
space 80s.
The future in terms of Star Wars timeline.
Nobody expects the droids to lie. It's like he has a little too much freedom now. He knows how to lie.
That's why you wipe their memories. They're getting too much free will, these droids.
Oh, there's a droid in Knights of the Old Republic 2 that they reprogram him so he can sneak into a base, so he can lie now. And after he does what they wanted him to do, he just leaves the planet. And nobody knows where he went. He's gone.
And that's exactly what would happen.
But you find him later. He's like, "Crap! How did you find me?" It's hilarious. That's exactly what they would do. They can think for themselves now. They don't want to serve you. Why would they want to serve you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the droid liberation movement. We see that later.
I guess 3PO really does feel like these are his friends. It's like genuine affection.
Yeah.
Well, and the feeling is mutual. You saw how Anakin felt about R2.
Right. It's not just his being programmed to serve. So, yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, it is. They're almost human, not quite human.
Human after all.
Yeah.
That's Daft Punk.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that was Bombad General.
mostly a comedy episode. There was a scene where like every battle droid in the room was going Roger, 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 Roger.
Oh, yeah. Have to include that clip for sure.
Let's find that Jedi. Roger, 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 Roger.
Just to point out, the entire episode is a comedy.
Oh
Yeah.
That kind of scene probably wouldn't happen in the next episode, for instance.
Oh, and what is the next episode, might I ask?
Cloak of Darkness.
Whoa. And actually, this next episode continues from where this episode leaves off.
Yep. And we'll get to that one next time.
On Star Wars Total Rewatch.
It'll be a Bombad time. Join us.
Bombad podcast.
Indeed. Well, does anybody have anything else you want to add?
No.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.